Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Scottish Night, hence the tie. There's more. I was actually going to, or the plan was I was going to squeeze into my kilt. And we tried, and we gave up. My kilt was an 18th birthday present from my grandmother. And I have changed shape somewhat since my 18th birthday, and it's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. It won't fit even vaguely, not even lying down, not even hanging upside down. The kilt will not physically fit. So I probably need to swap with my dad. The older I get, the bigger I get, and the older he gets, the smaller he gets. So I think we might as well swap. So Mum and Dad, if you're watching, I think we need to do some kilt swapping. Yeah, cheers everybody. This is just water, by the way, so cheers. And yes, but this magnificently tasteful tie, this is my family, this is my clan colours. And like I said, there's more to it than just this, hence this. So we'll get to that later. Now, I don't know if you noticed during the first number there, but did you hear the crackling going on? There was some sort of audio crackling. Tell me if you heard it, please, because I've been having some PC problems again. So what I'm going to do, and you're going to hate me for this because this is going to take forever. It's going to take forever, but I have to restart the machine. And something bizarre has been happening here with the computer. I had everything perfectly set up for the recent streams we've had, and it has been absolutely magnificent. It's been perfect in every sense. But today, for some reason, it went back to its old ways and it started crackling. Now, look here, it's taking forever to end Hauptwerk. So we're going to have 5 minutes now of chat while the computer restarts. Otherwise, there'll be no organ music at all. I'll be stuck to very small. Yeah, I don't like the look of that. Do you? That's definitely not good. Yeah, so if we don't do this, I'm going to be stuck with very small registrations tonight, which is definitely not good. Definitely not good. This is not a good sign. What's wrong with this bloody thing? I see there's nothing else running. That's the problem. That's what worries me. Anyway, we'll let that do its thing. And while that's doing its thing, let me tell you about the wonderful world of Scottish music. I've dug out quite a few things for tonight. Now, the whole point of Scottish Night tonight is very spontaneous indeed. That still hasn't ended, has it? That's not good. Oh, there it is. It's finished now. Right. Off and then restart. Right. Get it back in a minute. Yeah, Don Prince is saying resource monitor. Yeah, don't worry. I've been checking this for weeks, and it's nothing that's running in the background. It's just something not working. I have the sneaky and horrible suspicion it's just too old, and it's it's running out of life, which is not what you want to hear. Anyway, let's let that start up and do its thing again. Yes, so this evening's Scottish Night was a very spontaneous decision. Why was it a spontaneous decision? Well, remember it was my birthday a couple of weeks ago, and my parents sent me a birthday present, which, thanks to Brexit, arrived weeks late, far too late. I'm not going to show you my password, so I'll have to hide that in there. Nobody gets to know my password. Even I don't know my password according to this. There we go. Right. And yes, this parcel arrived. It was a little envelope. It arrived a few days ago, and customs had to be paid on it. This is the joys of international post-Brexit. So we had to pay customs on this little parcel. And inside this little parcel was one of the most hilariously funny things I've ever seen in my life. And I will be demonstrating that to you this evening at some point. So don't worry about that. So thank you, Mum and Dad, for the cute little present. It's being put to use this evening. It wasn't the tie, by the way. I already had the tie. Does anyone know what clan tartan this is, by the way? If anyone recognize it? And this is, of course, my clan. If you ever wondered what the M in the middle of my name is, Fraser M. Gartshore, if you ever wondered what the M is, well, you may find out tonight. Right, let's let Alessandria load again and see if that works. Now, Scottish evening. What's so special about Scottish music? Well, everyone has this sort of international romantic idea about Scotland and Scottish music and Scottish traditions being a sort of wonderful, you know what I mean, this sort of wonderfully sort of romantic country with wonderful scenery and friendly people. Well, that's all true. That's all very true. It's the most wonderful country in the world. After Switzerland. No, that's not true. It's absolutely beautiful. If you've never been to Scotland, you have to go because it really is truly beautiful. It's a wonderful country. The scenery is amazing. The weather is not as bad as everyone says it is. The weather here in this part of Germany is actually worse. The great thing about Scottish weather is, it changes every 2 minutes. So, you can have all 4 seasons in one day. Or you can have perfect weather, or you can have crap weather, but it changes very quickly. You've got mountain scenery, you've got sea, you've got the lochs, in other words, the lakes, the lochs, and all the sort of wonderful, hills and moors and heathery covered hills, and it's beautiful. Yeah, and the cuisine, everyone laughs about Scottish cuisine and says it's all haggis and deep fried Mars bars. The deep fried Mars bar, I think, was a joke back in the 90s, and for some reason it caught on because actually it's quite tasty. I've never tried one. Honestly, I've never tried one. However, I used to enjoy a deep fried pizza, which is the most disgusting thing you can imagine. It really is. You take a frozen pizza, you cover it in batter, and you chuck it in fat, in a deep fat fryer, and let it fry. It's awful. My dad called it blotting paper because it just soaked up all the fat, and then you of course ate this. You just ate basically fat with a bit of carbohydrate for goodness, and that was it. Yeah, but it's not all that. So the wonderful, the salmon we have, the deer, the venison, the wild stuff we get to eat. It's a wonderful country, and yes, there is that sort of romantic edge to it, and we'll come back to that in a minute because look, everybody, it's back. Right, so let's see if it's working now. I'm going to play a piece of music that somebody mentioned there. It's actually a piece of music that everybody knows from Scotland. It's, of course, it's one of those romanticized pieces of music all about something in Scottish history. And in this case, it's about Bonnie Prince Charlie and his travels on board on the way to an inner Hebridean island. There you are. I'm going to say no more than that. If you know what I'm talking about. Bonnie Prince Charlie was going to be the new king of Scotland, but Bonnie Prince Charlie was, as Billy Connolly says, was a little Italian poof, and obviously and didn't get the job. So anyway, sorry about that if you're into your history, but yes, there'll be quite a lot of that tonight. Yes, Billy Connolly is of course our finest comedic export, and yes, I'm a great fan. Anyway, here. What was that? I think Vanessa has hiccups, so it's going to be one of those nights tonight. Anyway, here we go then with a piece of music simply titled The Sky Boat Song. And pray that this bleeding thing is working now. That's better. Hello, back again, and everything's working now. And look, I have a different iPad, which is doing its thing. It's one of those nights tonight. Is it Friday the 13th or something? It's not, is it? What is today? The 11th. Feels like Friday the 13th. Everything's sort of going wrong, which can only mean one thing. It's all going to go wrong. Cheers. So there we are. That was the Sky Boat song. A rather beautiful little piece of music. And I don't know if you know the words. And I was actually, that's why I have it printed out. I don't need the melody, but I needed it for the words. Because I was sort of improvising a few verses around the different words that were involved there. So there you are. Now, many of you will know, and some of you might not know, that I originally come from the town of Inverness. Actually, it's now the city of Inverness in the north of Scotland. And that's sort of the centre of all this Bonnie Prince Charlie stuff. And the Battle of Culloden, just to the east of Inverness, and all that kind of thing. So 1746 and all that kind of stuff, yeah? So, you know, final battles on British soil, all that sort of stuff. So all that history was very sort of apparent while I was at school. And we used to go on trips to Culloden Moor to visit the battlefield, or we used to go to trips to the Inverness Museum to look at little snippets of Bonnie Prince Charlie's hair for some reason. Not quite sure why that was so interesting, but anyway. And if you've ever been to Inverness, you'll know there's a castle in the middle on a hill of the town. And it's actually the courtroom. It's not a castle you can go and visit. And in front of the castle, there's a statue of a woman looking out, well, west basically. And that's Flora MacDonald, who was someone who helped Bonnie Prince Charlie. And she's standing there looking out towards Skye, the direction of Skye, looking for, well, Charlie probably. Oh. There's definitely some kind of story behind all that, so there we are. Now, Scottish music. I've been over in Germany for 22 years now, so forgive me if I've forgotten some of the history. Now, like I've been saying already this evening, Scotland is one of those sort of highly romanticised countries for whatever reason. Some of it's perfectly legitimate, of course, but Scotland is, of course, a country in its own right. It belongs to the United Kingdom. It belongs to the island of Great Britain, and I'm not going to get any more political than that. But you know, it has its own football teams. It has its own rugby teams, and it therefore has, of course, its own national anthem, plural. And I'm going to play both of them tonight at some point. And of course, the official national anthem. Well, is it? It's the official football national anthem, believe it or not. And whether that's the actual national anthem or not, well, it's debated. I've been looking on the internet to find these things out, and the interweb tells me lots of things that I apparently didn't know. So whether we believe this or not, I don't know. But I think what we need to do is bump the organ up to something really rather crispy and play the official Scottish national anthem, which is this one. Scotland the Brave, on an Italian organ played by a Scottish organist in a German village. If that's not European, I don't know what. Isn't that great? What a wonderful machine. Now, thankfully, the machine, see, it's working now. All you need to do is restart it. And now it's working. But for how long? We shall find out. Cheers. Ooh. It's thirsty work playing these days. Now, yes, by the way, thank you very much for, chatting. Thank you for giving us a thumbs up on the way past. How are we doing on the thumbs up front? Mine is saying we only have 57 thumbs up. And there are over 250 people watching live. So come on, get your thumbs going, folks. And yes, and thank you also for what you've been doing in the background. This is Vanessa's iPad, you see. So in the background, she's got all the sort of stuff set up in the background. So I can see what's coming in the background, if you know what I mean. So thank you very much indeed, Gunther, for example. There we are. Now, what's next in my little list of things? Oh, yes. We're going to stick to the wonderful organ here. We're going to change organs tonight, obviously. And we're, of course, playing lots of good Scottish stuff tonight. And there are certain tunes you absolutely have to play while you're talking about the country of Scotland. And while we're on the subject of romantic Scottish stuff, how about this? Where's the tuba gang tonight? Normally when we get the... Normally when the tuba is playing, normally it's pa-ba, everyone goes tuba in the background. So where's the tuba lot? There you are, that was Loch Lomond. Actually, the official title is On the Bonny Bonny Banks of Loch Lomond. It's just been shortened to Loch Lomond over the years. And it is, of course, the official anthem for the FC Cologne football team. We've played that before for FC Cologne, so that's all very good fun indeed. Now, Scottish classical music. Scottish classical music. Is there a lot of Scottish classical music? Historically speaking, no. So let's find out why. And this is where things become quite interesting. Now, in the very old days, before things like the Reformation, Scotland was an incredibly active country in the arts. Incredibly active. And then the Reformation took place. And Scotland became, well, I'm not quite sure how to put this in a politically correct manner, so I can't. It became a bit sort of dry, shall we say, musically speaking, and the newly founded Protestant churches, especially the sort of the very strict Calvinistic and, you know, that lot. And they really sort of got rid of all the exciting, fancy music that there was there because, well, obviously that was, you know, that was Catholic music, so we can't have that. So that was the end of that. So all the wonderful sort of polyphony and lovely church music that was around disappeared overnight. And we got into something, you know, like this wonderful old psalmody. Now, it is a wonderful music in its own right, but it's a bit sparse and it's very sort of, well, dry. But that's the point, because it's, you know, the words are the most important thing, and there's very sort of chanty melodies that go along with it. That's the kind of thing. When I was digging around for some music for tonight, I came across, kann ich mal ganz kurz den PC haben, bitte? Ja, doch, bitte. Can I please have the PC, Mrs. Gartshore, for just 2 seconds? Okay, she's busy writing. I was downloading stuff, and I came across something called, and I hope my dad's watching tonight, because this is possibly one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not going to play any of it, don't worry, I would immediately put the entire audience off if I played it. Ready? This is the official title of this book here. The Gaelic Psalm Tunes, the Gaelic Psalm Tunes of Rossshire and the neighbouring countries. That'll be a barrel of laughs, won't it? The harmony and introductory dissertation by a German cop called Josef Mainzer. And this was published in 1844. This was MDX, yeah, 1844. Published in 1844. And I looked through it because I thought maybe there's a nice melody in there I know. And after about 400 pages of academic analysis of all this nonsense, there's a bunch of Gaelic hymns written out for piano, soloist, Gaelic tune and common tune. The common tune is of course sung by the folk in the congregation, and then you'll have some nasal chuchter giving it big licks with his Gaelic psalm singing, which I'm not going to do for you. But anyway, there you are. So I've came across that this evening, and I thought I had to mention that to make my dad laugh. My dad comes originally from Rossshire, you see, and my dad will argue that Rossshire was probably not really a Gaelic-speaking part of the country, because that part of the country was Norse. Anyway, there we are. Moving on. Moving swiftly onwards. There's going to be quite a bit of sort of insider jokes from my folks tonight, so I hope you don't mind. Yes, there won't be any Gaelic spoken tonight, because nobody in my family can speak Gaelic, because we come from Inverness, and nobody in Inverness spoke Gaelic, historically speaking. Historically speaking, bet you didn't know this, Inverness was cut off from the rest of mainland Scotland because of the mountains. So the only way you could get to Scotland was by sea. So if you had to sort of travel around the coast and come in that way. So Scotland was an international harbour of excitement. And what was the international language that everyone spoke in these days? Well, it was either French, believe it or not, or English. And this is why, to this day, people say, they do say this, people say that Inverness has the clearest sounding English accent of them all. Just listen to me. Not that I have an Inverness accent anymore, but or not that I ever did. But it's true, Inverness is a very cleanly spoken accent. So there you are, now you know. And Gaelic was really not spoken in Inverness as such. It is now, of course. The Gaelic mafia have come in and sort of taken over, you know. So but that's the way they do that. Like I say, lots of insiders. I'm in serious trouble from my mum when she hears all of this. So anyway, but we do like to get some political incorrectness in there. Now, while we're on the subject of Scottish hymn tunes and psalm tunes, I'm deliberately putting the P in there to annoy people. There is, of course, a very, very, very famous Scottish hymn melody that I have to play this evening. It's the 23rd Psalm, set to music, "The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want." Melody Crimond. I'm sure you all know this around the world. Beautiful melody. The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. Ah, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Isn't that beautiful? That really is a lovely, lovely piece of music. Now then, is it time to change organs? Yes, it is. And it's time to move from Italy to France. And of course, when we go to France, we're going to play around with the Nancy Cathedral organ, which is absolutely deliciously wonderful. And oh, thank you, Sylvia, for your donation. Thank you very much indeed. Ooh. I think we'll use this iPad from now on for the chats, because this is much better. We can see what's going on. This is great. Thank you very much indeed. Very kind.
Ich sehe das nicht.
Oh, so, right, okay. Sylvia, ich sag Sylvia, also ich kann sehen, was du machst, aber Vanessa nicht, weil das ist...
Nur sie oder was?
Ja, was du machst natürlich. Ich kann das sehen. Ich kann sehen, was da hier reinkommt natürlich. Vanessa hat das andere Konto, was wir da haben. Sie hat es hier eingerichtet. Sie macht eigentlich normalerweise die Hintergrundarbeit und sie hat es hier eingerichtet und ich sehe das normalerweise nicht. Aber heute muss ich leider hier gucken, weil mein 10 Jahre altes iPad total kaputt ist. Ach so, während wir jetzt auf Deutsch reden, ein Update für euch. Ein Update zum Thema CD. So, ich habe die Schnauze voll mit der GEMA. Deswegen wird die Download-Version der CD nächste Woche von mir rausgeschickt, egal was die GEMA sagt. Es ist mir wirklich pieps egal mittlerweile. Ich schicke es einfach raus. Okay? Die CD-Version muss leider warten, die physische CD-Variante muss leider warten, bis es genehmigt wird. Aber die Download-Variante für euch muss jetzt raus. Ich habe wirklich selber die Schnauze voll. Es nervt einfach. Und ich verspreche euch, spätestens Ende nächster Woche, egal was passiert, ist es raus. Okay? Ende nächster Woche, allerspätestens. So, quickly in English for you, a CD update. I've mentioned this in the last couple of weeks that we've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And guess what? We're still waiting. So I am completely and utterly sick of the situation now. So I am going to, no matter what, by the end of next week at the very, very latest, whether there's a green light or not, I will be sending the initial supporters of the CD project the download version of the recording, the recorded files. You will be getting your copy of it, okay? Whatever happens, because I'm fed up, I don't care anymore. Obviously, the CD itself cannot be physically pressed until we get the green light from the Performing Rights Society. And for some reason, I have no idea what it is. Even they don't know what it is anymore, apparently. Still haven't got the green light for it. Normally it's a formality. It takes like a few hours, but for some reason it's taken weeks, well, months now actually, from my side of things. So it's an absolute pain in the beep. But like I say, the download version will be sent out at the very latest next week for all of you who already ordered it in advance, and then the CD version will follow. Now, if push comes to shove, I'm just changing the project completely, changing the title, changing the layout, changing everything, and we're doing it as a completely new project. The contents will be the same, but it'll just be under a new name and all that sort of thing. So yes, so for those of you who have been waiting for a very long time, I am truly sorry, but believe me, we are just as annoyed as you are about the whole thing, and this was supposed to be ready for Christmas. It was ready for Christmas, but the powers that be decided it wasn't to be. So there you are. So you will be getting your download. You will be getting the music. Funnily enough, the download quality will actually be higher quality than the CD itself, but don't tell anyone. That's just the way things are these days. CDs are 44.1 kilohertz, 16-bit, and the download you're going to get is 48 kilohertz, 24-bit. So, ta-da! It's going to have more dynamic range. There you are. Work that one out. But everyone gets that who ordered a copy, whether it was only the download, the CD, or the music book that goes along with it. So you all get the download. So at least that's going to be out by then. So I do apologize for the incredible wait, but believe me, we've been waiting for the whole time as well. Right. Oh, is it time? Oh, photo. Ladies and gentlemen, the Gartshore mug drinking gang has grown. Now, a member of our gang, oh yes, yeah, we don't need this anymore. A member of our gang, a long-serving member of the gang, is der heute da? Ich habe ihn noch nicht gesehen, oder? Oder ist er da?
Ich glaube schon.
Ja. Rien, bist du da? Rien, are you there? Rien Schalkwijk. You all know Rien Schalkwijk because Rien is regular to the channel. Rien has been a follower of the channel for a very long time and a supporter of the channel. And Rien, although he is an espresso drinker, has gone and purchased the Gartshore Gang coffee mug. Or tea mug, whatever you want to drink of it. And here we are. Vanessa shall put up a picture of Rien with his Gartshore Gang mug. Ready? 3, 2, 1, Rien. There you are. That is Mr. Rien Schalkwijk with his Gartshore Gang mug sitting at his organ. Go, there he is. He's in the chat tonight. Go and click on Rien. Check out his organ channel. Rien posts a video every day. Can you believe that? Every single day. And it's all wonderful stuff. He's a very, very, very talented musician, a very funny chap from the Netherlands. I have to say the Netherlands because it's not really Holland, is it? It's the Netherlands if you come from the south. And that's Rien from the Netherlands. So thank you, Rien, for buying the Gartshore Gang mug. If you buy a Gartshore Gang mug, then do send us a picture and we will feature it here on one of our live streams. It's absolutely wonderful stuff. Yeah, go and check out Rien's channel. Rien has just done it today, in fact, Friday. He just posted something that he called, what did you call it, Rien? Fraseristique, Fraser or Fraserized or Fraseristique or something like that. An improvisation, kind of like I do. And he did it on Alessandria, funnily enough. So starting off very quietly and then building up to full organ with tuba and then back down again. And this was an improvisation of his own doing, an improvised melody as well. Rather wonderful piece of music. Go and check it out. So Rien is wonderful. Definitely wonderful. Now, while we're talking about people on the channel, people who've been here before, mach mal JM, mach mal Dr. Martin, mach mal sein Bild, Dr. Martin. Dr. Martin, Dr. Martin,
Yes.
Jerry Martin, who you all know and love from his own channel, from all the other organ channels that Jerry supports and follows and things. Jerry has been a long time supporter of this channel. We love Jerry to bits. Jerry has become one of my best friends over the past year and more. And Jerry is also a mug owner. Snap. There's Jerry with his Gartshore Gang mug. Look at that. Isn't that exciting? And Jerry has some very exciting news. Jerry's channel has just hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, which is absolutely amazing. Well done, Jerry. And I think you should all head on over to Jerry's channel. You see him in the chat there, Jerry Martin. He's also a channel member, which is why he's got a green name with a little symbol behind it. So there's Jerry. And Jerry's very excited. He's very proud that he's hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, and he has a wonderful channel as well. Go and check him out. Actually, it's very good to watch Jerry's channel because Jerry is about to perform a concert together with John Hosking. John Hosking is a British concert organist as well, and the two of them are putting on a joint concert of Celtic music. It's rather wonderful, and that's coming out Thursday. Is that right, Jerry? Tell us. Thursday, isn't it, Jerry? Jerry, put up a link to Thursday night. Yeah, put up a link. It's a premiere coming up on Thursday night on, I think it's on John's channel, but Jerry and John are playing a concert together. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. Stanford and all sorts of goodies. I'll be there. It's going to be wonderful. Right, there we are. There's a bit of advertising for the boys. So when I say for the boys, what about the girls? Do we have any girls playing the organ watching this channel? I don't know. You know, it's an international thing, but it seems that we are, you know, seems that it's a very male-dominated gig. Bitte? That's true. Ursa Major is a lady. Ursa Major is immer there. Nancy is there. But yes, but does Ursa Major or does Nancy play the organ? We don't know. We don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, the unofficial national anthem of Scotland, Mr. Williamson. I know Mr. Williamson's daughter. She used to go to the church I played at in Edinburgh. What was her name? I can't remember her name. Isn't that terrible? Very nice girl. She lived just around the corner from the church in Tull Cross in Edinburgh. I played at a church called St. Michael and All Saints in Edinburgh, and she used to come on Sundays, and it was Roy Williamson's daughter. There you are. There's my claim to fame on this. O Flower of Scotland. And get ready for a surprise. O Flower of Scotland. The unofficial national anthem of Scotland. There you are. The Corries. Roy Williamson was one of the Corries. And Corries was a sort of a folky Scottish band when I was younger. I think Roy's not around anymore. No, Roy is not around at all. He is actually, his funeral was in Inverness Cathedral. I remember that. I was there. I didn't go to the funeral, but I was there. Or did I? I think I did. I can't remember. It's a long time ago. Back in the 90s, that must have been. Cheers. Now then, a long time ago, I featured a Scottish piece of music for a Scottish theatre organist on one of our live streams, Mr. Organ Music YT. Is Organ Music YT here tonight?
Hab's nicht gesehen.
Is Organ Music... Ross, are you here? Is Organ Music YT here? If you are, then this is for you. I played a piece of music for him. It's called A Fond Kiss, or A Fond Kiss. Robbie Burns, national bard, as people insist on calling him. And there are two versions of it, believe it or not. And I played one version for Ross last time, and I then discovered that I was probably playing the wrong version. It's still a nice one. So I took both versions tonight, and I'm going to play a round of them for you. See what you think. Oh, by the way, do you like the socks? They're great, aren't they? They are also my family tartan. And no one's worked out what the family tartan is yet, apparently. So no tartan experts there this evening. Yes, it's our or my family tartan. And the socks were the birthday present from my parents. They arrived the other day. And they're kind of cute, aren't they? What do you think? Vanessa, what do people think of the socks?
Die finden das geil.
Oh, really? Okay, they love them. All right, there you are then. Good for you. Good fun anyway. Right. A Fond Kiss. It's all about sort of a farewell thing. All of these Robbie Burns things, they're all about sort of farewell. They're all about going and going and going. Don't forget, Robbie Burns was about to emigrate to, I think, Jamaica. Was it Jamaica? And, you know, his fortunes weren't going terribly well, and he thought, right, sod this, I'm off. I'm off to the West Indies, where everyone was having a whale of a time, when the weather's better and I can drink rum all day, smoke cigars all day, and have a whale of a time. And then one of his collections of poems sold an incredible amount, and he became very wealthy. So he thought, oh, I'll stay. So there you are. Bet you didn't know that. Useless pieces of information I picked up in my school history. Wasn't that cool? I love that kind of thing. Right, I think it's time now for a bit of fun. What we're going to do, we're going to head over to, we're going to head over to Theatre Organ Land, and we're going to start playing some Scottish country dance music, some good old-fashioned ceilidh music, and I'm going to play a piece of music that was my grandmother's favourite. My grandmother was an incredibly talented musician herself, at least in her youth, and in her later years as well. I sort of got her back on the piano as much as I could and got her to play things. We played sort of Scottish music together. But her and her twin brother, so in other words, my grandmother and my great uncle, they were sort of when they were kids, back in the 30s. They were sort of wonder kids musically. My gran played the piano and my uncle played the fiddle. And they performed concerts. I think somewhere I've got a newspaper clipping of the two of them doing their stuff. Really quite cute. And my great uncle then went on to be a very, very talented jazz pianist and accordionist. And he sort of taught me a bit of both, believe it or not. He was the one who got me going on jazz piano, definitely. So that was Uncle George. And my gran and I used to sit at the piano, and she would play the right-hand melodies of all these old Scottish tunes, and I would, of course, fill in the bottom end. And we always used to have a great fun. And one of her favourite pieces of music, probably her favourite piece of music, was the famous Jimmy Shand number, the Bluebell Polka. And I dug out the music for the Bluebell Polka today. So this is for my old gran, who's sadly, of course, no longer with us. But she loved this. On a Sunday afternoon, my mum and dad used to go out and play golf every Sunday afternoon. And my sister and I used to spend the time then with my grandmother. And we would, on rainy days, would be listening to the radio. And on the radio, Murrayfirth Radio, the local radio. And in the afternoon, there was a sort of Scottish traditional program. And they would always play this kind of music. And we loved it. It was absolutely wonderful. So here we are, the Bluebell Polka, for any Jimmy Shand fans that might be in this evening. There you are. Bet you there's not that many of them. But this is wonderful. I love this stuff. your partners, please, for the gay gardens. There you are. The Bluebell Polka. Isn't that just, it's just happy music, isn't it? It gets a grin on everybody's face. Funnily enough, it didn't put a grin on Jimmy Shand's face. I don't know if you've ever watched, go and look up Jimmy Shand and his band. He's the most dour-faced accordion player. He's a brilliant accordion player, but he just couldn't smile at the same time. He always looked like someone just stole his scone, as my dad would say. Who stole his scone? Yeah, so I don't know what the problem with Jimmy Shand was. Wonderful music, but a sour-faced bugger. Right, Scottish music time. Look what I found in the deep, distant past of my music. The Green Tune Book. I have no idea what this is. It's an internet edition, so God knows where I got this from. And it's sort of the thing, if you play in a ceilidh band, you have melodies, all these melodies. It's for the fiddle players and the accordion players. Talking about fiddle players, there's someone in the audience who secretly plays the fiddle. And I would love him to get one of these going, and we could do a little duet sometime. So, I won't say any more than that. Right, let's have some Scottish music, some Scottish country dance music. I hope you're enjoying yourselves this evening. I'm having an absolute whale of a time, as you might imagine. So I hope you're having a good time as well. Let's just stick to this company. I like the sort of I like the piano sound of it. Sounds like a ceilidh band, doesn't it? I'm being pointed at in the background. Hello. Molly Malone? Eddie, that's Irish. We'll do an Irish night at some point. We'll do an Irish night, and I'll get Jerry to join us. How about that? We'll do an Irish night with Jerry together. No, Molly, but come on, we're doing Scottish night tonight. Here's a piece of music called the Athol Highlanders. There's a rather sort of eccentric chap in sort of the lower Highlands of Scotland, the Duke of Athol. He lives in a white castle in the town called Blair Athol, and I think the current Duke of Athol, is he not American, the current Duke of Athol? I can't remember. And he has a private army. I mean that's how eccentric this guy is. He's got a private army. Anyway, and they are called the Athol Highlanders. And there's a very famous piece of music simply entitled the Athol Highlanders, and it sounds like this. It's a jig. Short stuff tonight, huh? Alexander, yes, you are. Don't worry. Towards the end of this evening's thing. Yes, the Athol Highlanders. I just spotted that in the way past and thought, let's play it. Never played it before in my life, so there you are. I love this kind of thing. Now, while I was digging through here, I found a bunch of songs that would belong to, that would definitely belong to a ceilidh dance, and this is the kind of stuff my grandmother and I used to play together on the piano. It's always hornpipe stuff. You know the hornpipes? By the way, all Scottish dances have to start off with a to get everyone to, oh, right, we're starting. And then off we go, that kind of thing. So if you wonder why I'm doing that, that's why I'm doing it. By the way, go and listen to Roy Wood. Remember Roy Wood and Wizard, the guy with the hair and the makeup, the stars in his eyes and things like that, from Birmingham. Roy Wood is fascinated by Scottish music, and his song Going Down the Road is basically a homage to a ceilidh band. There you are. Bet you didn't know that. Go and listen to Going Down the Road from Roy Wood, and you'll hear that sort of at the beginning. Anyway, enough of that. Oh, this is just too much fun. This is just too much fun. I'm sight reading this because I'm sorry, I'm having far too much fun. Having far too much fun. Far too much fun. I have a program, for heaven's sake. I had a program and I had things on my program. Oh yes. 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 A much requested piece of music on this channel. And I suspect there's going to be 100 copyright claims on everything tonight anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. So I suppose I ought to pop this on. Slushy Wurlitzer time. Let's see if you can work out what this is going to be. Mrs. Gartshore, may I have a top-up of my refreshing beverage, please? Mm-hmm. Thirsty work tonight. It's because I'm wearing a tie. I'm not letting the steam out. Anyway, here's a piece of slushy, wonderful music. Listen to this. Isn't that cool? Highland Cathedral. Highland Cathedral. Half of it was written by Germans. The other half is an old Scottish melody that is kind of forgotten. Everybody thinks it was written by... Oh, tasty beverage time, please. Sorry. I'm dying. I'm dying. Thank you very much. Like so many of those wonderful old Scottish melodies, they were sort of pinched, and other parts were added to them and taken on. Now, how do I know that? Uncle George, my Uncle George I was talking about earlier, was a great fan of reel-to-reel tape recorders, and he passed on one of his old tape recorders to me with some of his old tapes from the 1960s. And there was a very old tape of a melody, and it was basically the Highland Cathedral melody, the first part of it, the basic part of it, played by a very old band, and he reckoned it was a lot older than the 1960s. He couldn't remember how old it was. So it wasn't the full tune, it was just sort of part of it. So the two German chaps who claimed it altered it slightly and turned it into something new. So there you are. There you are. Isn't that great fun, though? This is a wonderful instrument, isn't it? You've still, oh, we're still showing everyone my feet. Now, has anyone worked out what clan tartan this is yet? This is our clan tartan. The socks and the tie are both the same. Now, people have been asking again about my kilt. At the beginning, I said we tried getting me in my kilt this evening, and it was hilarious. We should have filmed it because it was so funny, actually. Trying to squeeze myself into it, trying to sort of squeeze all this lard, this lumps of fat around the middle here, trying to work that in. It wasn't going to work, absolutely not. So, so we took out the tie and the socks my parents sent me for my birthday instead. So yes, there you are. Anyone worked out what clan it is yet? Something with M, of course, yes. And it's not muck something, okay? It's not a muck something. It's just an word. Just an word. Now we're getting towards the end of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I think I'm going to change back, because while I do love this little Wurlitzer here, little, 3 manual, 31 ranks, while I do love it, I'm not quite used to it yet. I haven't set up much yet, so we're going to move back to the Morton Theatre organ, where we're going to close up this evening's concert. Now it's almost 10 to 12 at night. Sid Gartshore, yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Fraser Gartshore. No, not right. Sorry, not right. Now, something we haven't done tonight is have any sort of cheesy, let's pretend to be bagpipe music. So I think what we need to do is have something like a bit of a boogie woogie, don't you think? Boogie woogie time? Boogie woogie time. Let's have a boogie woogie on the theatre organ in a Scottish style. See if we can find it. Murray Linton has suggested Muir. Ooh, there's a nice old name. Nope, not Muir. Murray. Wrong, Graham. Joe. Oh, hi, Joe. By the way, Joe, the Gmail address is the one you're looking for. Joe has been sending me emails to various different accounts, and there we are. So Gmail is the one, Joe. Graham, Clan Murray. Wrong. Murdoch, Joe. Wrong. What about the Sporran, says Adrian Morris. It must be the Music Clan, says Richard S. Very nice. Jim Forsyth says Melville. Wrong. Jerry Martin, someone called it earlier. Jerry Martin says Monroe. Nope. Nancy got it right. It's Munro. M-U-N-R-O. Munro. We belong to the Munro clan. Not Matheson, not MacGyver, not MacLeod. There you are. Nice one, Joachim. Nice one. No, there's more than one of them. So yes, it's Munro. Now you know. So this is what's known as the. Oh God, help me out here. Oh God, there are so many different types of tartan. This is the muted. Oh God, this is the muted something tartan. It's not the, is it the dress? No, it's not the, oh, I can't remember. It's muted, which is why it's more orange than red. Anyway, something like that. God, I can't remember what it's called. I'll get my parents to tell me. I can't remember. Isn't that terrible? I can't remember. Muted something. Now, Munro tartan, there's a hunting tartan for Munro, and that's exactly the same as the Black Watch tartan, because the Black Watch were originally members of the Munros, and it was their hunting tartan. So if you see someone in a Black Watch kilt, You can say, hello, Mr. Monroe, and see how they react. Cheers. Here's a boogie woogie in the key of something. A boogie woogie starting off in the key of C and ending up in the key of D. How the hell I got to D, I have no idea. I don't think I've ever played a boogie in D major before. Why would anybody want to? See if you recognize this piece of music. baby, bye-bye, baby. How exciting was that? Don't ask me why, but suddenly I had the Bay City Rollers came into my mind. Why shouldn't the Bay City Rollers come into anybody's mind? Isn't that wonderful? I bet the Bay City Rollers has never been played on a theatre organ before. If that ever has, then please do tell me. Wouldn't that be crazy? Ah, cheers. Talking of cheers, we can't end the evening with water. Good heavens, no. We can't end the evening with water. We have to end the evening with a dram of whiskey, which is a very rare thing in this house these days. But we dug about in the depths of the cupboards. Das heißt, oh Gottes Willen. Oh, I see. Oh, it's for show, is it?
Yes.
Well, when I'm finished with this, it goes back in the bottle. Oh, there's still a label on the glass. That's how that's how much we drink in this household. No, that's all right. That's all right. I will cover it with my finger. Ladies and gentlemen, a dram of whiskey. This is a glass that was given to me by one of my choirs many years ago. It says Fraser, the Last Gentleman on it. So there you are. And this is the first time I've used this glass because there's still a label on the back. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a glass of the water of life, ooh, what am I drinking here? That's Jura, isn't it? Mm-hmm. How old is this Jura?
Sehr alt.
Does it have an age on it?
Oh Gott, was steht denn?
Stell die Flasche hin, dann gucke ich mal.
1810 steht da, aber das kann ich nicht.
No, that can't be right. Oh, this is Jura Superstition. I should play Stevie Wonder then, shouldn't I? This is the Jura Superstition whiskey. Ah, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this evening's Scottish-themed concert. There will be more of these, so if you have Scottish requests, then please let us know. Please let us know, and we will try our best to fulfill your wishes. Now, there were some wishes that we had, or some requests that we had for this evening, but we didn't get them in because, of course, it was a Scottish-themed night tonight. So, on Sunday night is organ music night, so in 2 days' time, we'll be back with our little live stream, and we're going to do all sorts of goodies there, including a piece of music that Reen requested last Sunday, because we had a spider running around the room. I haven't seen it since. It disappeared last Sunday, and we haven't seen it since. I think it buggered off because of all the music that we were playing. So it disappeared. And it didn't come back. Oh, and apparently, yes, a scream came out of the bedroom a couple of days ago because a spider sort of crawled along the side of the bed, which was... apparently it touched Vanessa's leg. Ooh, naughty spider. Anyway, there you are. So yes, there is of course going to be an encore, people. My goodness, I'm just getting round to my drinky poo here, which is very exciting. So there'll be a bit of spider music on Sunday night, if you know what I mean. So I hope to see you again on Sunday evening, in Sunday night as organ music night, and of course at the very latest next Friday night without a tie. It's very hot wearing a tie in here. Anyway, cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your patience this evening with the technicalities we had at the beginning. Thank you very much for your donations. Thank you very much. I love the way some people say, I've bought my entry to the concert. That's a really cute way of putting it, I think. So yes, so if, to buy an online ticket to the organ concert, isn't that a cute way of putting it? So thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen, for your help, for your donations, for your support, for your comments, for your presence, and just for being the wonderful audience that you are. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go with the final piece of music for this evening. See you Sunday. Oh, that. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Bye, folks. See you next time. See you Sunday. Night, night, everybody. Bye, bye.